Okay, what are we doing today, Brett?
Well, we're on the west coast of Florida, in an area around Newport Richey Hudson, and we're back in the sawgrass searching for karst windows, possible cave systems and springs. It's February 2009, and the drought is so bad, unfortunately, a lot of these springs just aren't flowing anymore, so we should have some decent visibility. But according to the Game Fish Wildlife Commission, some of these springs used to have so much flow coming out of them that you couldn't even put your boat on top of them, and you know, now you can't even find them unless you know where they are. So it's a situation whereas if we were doing this 10 years, 5 years ago, we might be seeing an entirely different type of cave or sinkhole. But today is basically a reconnaissance day. We're going to go out and kind of do reconnaissance to see if there's actually a conduit, a cave, a spring, a sinkhole, and hopefully we'll find a cave system. So we'll see how things go. What we're going over now is a series of fissures that line up with the system that I've been calling Sea Star. And these are the cracks, 1, 2, 3 behind us, that in the last three years ago they blew so much water that you couldn't even put your boat on top of them. And now we're at almost what's called a mean low tide, and you can see a tiny bit of water coming out of them, but you can just see how bad the drought is. If you look down here, Kurt, you can see we're coming into the first one.
Right there.
All that dirt down there. I've never dove this one before.
Why don't you do a recon?
Well, Johnny can jump in. He's ready. John, you want to check this out? I haven't done. I've never dove this one before. Crazy no mount shit, right, John?
Oh no, it's like
Oh yeah?
no way.
No way?
I mean, maybe if you're like a skinny midget, no mount.
Skinny midget.
That's why we brought Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan's a skinny midget no mount. He can do it. Watch the tree fall over and smash that canoe.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
He's climbing a tree.
Why?
Because it's there.
Got it, thank you.
That's it.
What are you doing?
There's a redneck for you.
Yeah, no, as soon as you go into the mud right here, there's more mud.
Yeah?
Yep.
Can you see anything? The mud.
It's like diving behind you. Yeah.
Okay, I'm banking on 3 minutes.
This actually reminds me of that, remember that shithole we were diving in Tennessee?
Yeah.
Diving by Braille. Jason and I were just with hands to the wall to try to find where to go. I'm like, yeah, that's not it. I'm not really that motivated in finding shitholes anymore. Just going to keep this a little...
Can you see anything up there, Mikey?
I can see the Gulf of Mexico from up here.
Can you? Can you see our other boat that's back there in the swamp somewhere?
That was one of the things I was looking for. I can see the trails, but we took so many S-turns. And
You see 3 rednecks pulling a white boat?
Oh, looking at a laptop going, what the hell is this?
You didn't bring your laptop out here with you, did you?
Yeah, it's in my case.
You're kidding.
Everything's in my case.
Retard.
Well,
Well, Brett,
let's go to Hooters and watch porn.
Can't find any flow down here.
did you find any hole?
Yeah.
That's what she...
Hold on a second.
30-something feet. It goes into a slant, but it just, you know, I had 3 to 5 foot of visibility, but as soon as I went in there, it just got bad.
You went under, right over here, someplace.
Yeah, right there where you stand.
Didn't go anywhere?
It did, but I just can't see. It all kind of pitches down. It goes into a little crack.
You want to try it again?
Nope.
Under the tree, you mean?
Yeah, and I put
Yeah.
the light down there,
Yeah.
hoping that I could see some conductivity or movement
Yeah.
in the water, and there was nothing.
I was just free diving there, and I'm like, yeah.
I'm okay. This is off the throw that sawgrass. I'm good.
choking his chicken.
That's what she said.
Hey, don't splash the camera.
Slap the guy behind. Do you have a fish on?
Definitely spring water though.
Is there more flow coming, or is that it? You can see the water.
There's another, look over here. See it right here?
Small one over here.
See the boil right here to the right?
Yeah.
Little tiny one though.
You want to climb down in there? You can't get into that. That's small.
Oh no, you can't get in there.
Wish you could have got a better summary of what y'all were going to do. I might have stayed home and painted or something.
I'd have stayed home and poured concrete. By the bag.
That
Yeah,
one's got the
pressure
best
washer
flow.
driveway.
Yeah.
Look at the flow coming out of this one. It's clearing up already. Since,
Oh, yeah.
and he moved a rock, this one behind me. And
It's going.
Big lead.
Big rock coming out of here.
it's a massive weight to it.
Oh yeah.
Pushing down in there. Making his own solution too.
We got to get through this section. You're looking, there's an area with rock. Yeah, I'm thinking that might be a good idea.
What do you got there, Brett?
Yeah, there you go.
This is a fisher. I've never dove this, but there's a possibility. I'm sure there's a cavern down there, but I didn't plan on diving it today. But the longer we spend here, the more the tide's going to come in or do something.
That's real. That's all. It's actually almost all tape surveyed too, up until you get back to where nobody will be anyway.
Back to where?
Oh well.
Back until where?
Well, I mean, back to where no one else is probably going to go, other than a few people who won't really care. Version of Illustrator for that, because the new version decided not to support DXL files, or DFLs or DXL, whatever.
Okay, Brett, what'd you find?
Cave!
Big crack?
Big crack! Is this an ocean cave? It's got a lot of stuff in it, but you can tell that it's been siphoning more than it's been springing lately. It's got that typical kind of like sand and clay mixed in it. Got about 10 foot of visibility. You just got to kind of stay in front of it going in. That's about it.
And you were singing through?
At the end, I just put 2 slip knots on it, Rye. If you want to double up the tie or whatever, go ahead.
Alright.
There's not a lot of placements in there. So.
To look like a Bahama freaking cave?
Yeah, it looked a lot like some of the nastier ones in the Bahamas. Definitely a cool cave, though.
Put what, 200 feet of line in it?
About 220. About 2. I was landing pretty quick.
Almost 10.
Yeah. And you did it on SodaSorb, which is
Yeah,
like,
it was shit.
turns
It
to
was
paste.
shit. And then we didn't have
After
anything.
7
Right?
hours.
We just shook it. I mean, that was it. We didn't have anything.
That's all.
Free ride. Come on and take a free ride.
As soon as you get to the end of your line, you're going to go, fuck, and then woo! It just goes down.
Whatever on the southern point. It's a long fucking boat ride, and she's dying. She's sitting on the boat going, oh man, I have to pee. So as soon as we get there, and I'm sitting right next to her, we get there, I'm like, jump overboard. She's like, huh? I'm like, you have to pee. She's like, oh, too late, I did that a while ago. I'm like, oh, nasty. It's everything.
Yeah, he's spread eagle.
That's not good. Is he still breathing?
Yeah, that
That's not
is yeah. That is kind of how you float up when you're pretty fucked, huh?
Yeah.
Except no bubbles coming up.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
I think that's the only okay sign I think I've ever seen from a cave diver. That's funny. Still going. Added about another 150 feet to your line.
Good.
Turned it basically on time.
How deep?
Max depth of 72. Where it hit the 72 going down in the spot that you went through,
Yeah.
comes back up and it's just going about 65 feet.
I thought it was like 80 to 100.
How big was the passage?
It's hard to tell. Most of the time you can't see the ceilings. The line's pretty much on the floor. You can see, maybe I'd say you have probably average, what, 5 to 10 foot of viz.
Yep.
And you can't see the ceiling. A lot of places you can see both walls, but
So it's Fisher Crack, 10 feet wide?
Yeah.
I'd say Fisher Crack probably around 10 feet wide, and if I had to guess, the ceiling's just barely out of sight. It'd be really nice if you could find it springing, because there's a lot of stuff in there that you're not going to see.
Well,
We'll need
yeah, but with the
rain for
siphon,
that.
it's telling you where it's going,
Yeah.
isn't it? I mean, were you laying line based on sight or just kind of letting it take you?
I just went, woo!
Let it take you. Free, flow, slow.
It was fun.
Dude, what?
Okay, tell us about this crab that you found.
Not the one in
Look
your
like-
pants.
Look like that.
How
that's,
big?
That's a pretty good artistic drawing there.
It was about a foot long, probably 6 to 8 inches wide.
You didn't get A's
On the
in art,
bottom
did
shelf.
you?
Huh?
You didn't get A's
Hey,
in art,
big
did you?
pictures.
No.
And he was double stacked on top.
albino crab.
He looked like this.
How far back is he?
Wasn't a horseshoe crab, was it? You know what?
I thought it was a horseshoe crab at first, but I don't think it was. Look, that's what
Are
it
those
looked like.
pinchers in front?
They look
like-
like pinchers.
Like that?
Yeah.
Eatable pinches?
Dude, that looks like a big not amphipod.
Let me see it.
Kurt, what were the name of the roachy ones that was used
I
to
know
bite
which
us
one.
and shit?
Yeah.
Did it? Hey, Ryan, hold on. Did it have this over its back? Here, hold on a second.
Looked like a big cockroach.
Did you see striations like that?
It actually looked kind of smooth on its back. It was solid white. Looked kind of smooth.
Dude, we need to come
We
back
got to
here
go back
tomorrow.
and catch that bitch.
And it had
Catch
like,
it, you'll
had
kill
something, had something like a
No, we
circle
catch it and
almost
send
on
it
its
to
back
Tom.
like
Yeah, the scientists kill it in the name of
that. Like
science.
a
Yeah,
logo
we catch it and send it to
Daddy's
Tom.
got this camera. Go shoot it. Seriously.
You got the wrong lens.
It was only about
Now I've got a 10 to 22.
250 feet
Oh,
back.
dang.
I also
When I
have
saw
a
it,
50.
I
could
started
put in
laying
there.
it right after I added or tied into
All right,
your
well,
line.
let's understand. This cave's hundreds and hundreds
the
of
problem
thousands
is
of
I'd
years
have
old.
to be
There's
close.
nothing to say that there isn't some cave
It's a
adapted.
prehistoric albino cave
That's
crab.
right.
This is turning into Blair Witch video. Did you see little stick people in the cave?
So now, if you go in tomorrow and you just disappear, we're going to assume the crab ate you.
There's some type of something in there in the rocks that kind of stings your hands too.
Yeah.
If you touch against it.
Fire
Oh,
coral.
hydroids.
coral.
Hydroids.
Hydroids, yeah.
Hydroids or something.
Dust the
Do a lot
gloves.
of ocean diving.
Gotta wear the gloves.
No.
Yeah, well, you'll have fun
Yeah,
later.
I have to go home and clean my
Kurt,
tanks now.
Later on, we'll pee on Ryan's hands when we get back to
Yeah, that's how you.
Let's go.
I don't think so.
It's just pee. Come on.
It's
Embrace
sterile.
The wee wee.
Yeah,
I don't know if mine's
Well,
sterile,
yeah.
but most people's is sterile.
I've seen friends.
What'd you see in the cave? What was the cave? What'd it do?
It's definitely a fault line, and it's even better visibility than yesterday. No, not at all. And I think I laid about 100 feet of line, and I started going deep in the fault line and made a T to the right, and it sucked down into some really small leads, but I just felt like that wasn't the right way, so I came back up, tied back off. I got to 115 feet, came back up to 80, tied back into my line, and started going back up to the left, and there's no flow at all, and I really felt like that must be the way at 115, and all of a sudden I keep coming up, and all of a sudden it starts pulling me again, and I'm like, yeah, there it goes. So I put about another 300 feet in. The cave's got about 700 feet of line in it, and you're back down to about 90 feet, and the sea life's dropping out. The reel's sitting there with the brake on a nice smooth rock. It's still got lots of slime on it, but the visibility's only about from here to the camera, about 5 feet, 6 feet max. But I like the siphon. Really, I do, because, it really tells you where you're going and stuff, but it's probably some of the most challenging cave I've laid line in without being small. But this actually wasn't in the cave. It was in the opening up in the water. It's a dugong vertebrae is what that is. But it's very cool. It's a very cool cave. It's going strong, man. So what Ryan had saw earlier because he isn't allowed diving, is there's several mating seahorse crabs in there. And the reality is the muck, they just bury their tails, and on the back of the seahorse in the segment, there's 8 sharp spikes that stick out of the back of the seahorse before the tail, and the males and the females and everything else. And I saw several of them right where you started the line. I saw one there. So it's basically seahorses mating, and in the visibility, they do look white.
Horseshoe crabs?
Horseshoe crabs, thank you. Not seahorses, sorry.
So it's a seahorse crabs. Were the crabs at least white?
I can understand why you think they were white. That's okay though. He's a Texas cave diver. You have to forgive him. Having sex. They're like rabbits of the crustacean world. They're always having sex.
Sometimes you'll see.